What's going on? I'm here with none other than legendary Mauricio Sulaiman of the WBC, World Boxing Council. How you feeling today, Mauricio?
I'm doing very well, thank you very much. And you?
I'm great. We have another huge event in the sport of boxing that the WBC is once again involved in. You guys made another special belt for this fight. What goes into the thought pattern of making these special belts for these special fights?
We started in 2017 to commemorate the two special holidays of Mexico. May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, September 16th, which is Independence, because always during that weekend there's a great boxing event. So we started doing a cultural special trophy for the winner. It's not a championship belt, it's nothing that causes anything nor confusion, it's just a belt which is beautiful, which captures the culture and the people who likes art, and it's a gift from the WBC and Mexico to the world.
Now, for people that may not be aware, just how far back does those two dates go? Cinco de Mayo weekend, Mexican Independence Day weekend, in the sport of boxing. How far back does that go?
50 years.
Wow.
50 years, the immigrants from Mexico in the United States, feeling the nostalgia for Mexico, they started doing these parties, these celebrations, and then boxing started taking place in that weekend to celebrate. So Rubén Olivares, Salvador Sánchez, Julio César Chávez de la Hoya, Márquez, Morales, Barrera, all these champions. Even Floyd Mayweather was the owner of those dates,
right.
because it was the celebration weekend. So it's a beautiful combination of sports and culture.
Could we possibly look forward to, because we know we celebrate those dates here in the States, and we have fights those dates here in the States. Is it possible, just a thought of mine, that maybe on that Friday before the fights on Saturday here in the States, you have fights in Mexico?
That's a great idea. I love that idea. I'm gonna request maybe we can do that. And we have the Juneteenth belt. We started 3 years ago with the Juneteenth belt. It's a beautiful belt to commemorate freedom. It's called the Freedom Belt. So we do our best to always try to make a promotion for the sport of boxing.
Right. Now, with this fight and with Canelo being so huge in the sport of boxing, we see yesterday Teddy Atlas had a specific view on Canelo Alvarez, and he feels like he's one of the most overrated Mexican fighters in history. He says that, you have guys like Salvador Sanchez, like you just named, those legends. Where do you rank Canelo Alvarez in legends, or do you even look at it from that standpoint?
No, he's a great fighter. He's within the top of the top, and I'm sure that time will tell. He's still building his legacy. Mitch?
Yeah, unfortunately, for me personally, I always say Salvador Sanchez was the greatest Mexican fighter I've witnessed, and unfortunately, his life got cut short to a legend like that, But do you have a preference, a personal favorite of Mauricio Sulaiman, just a fan, separating yourself from the WBC just as a fan?
No, all of them.
Well,
Give me 1 second.
okay.
I'm sorry.
No problem. Now, I saw a headline that said that we know David Benavidez has been campaigning to get an opportunity to fight Canelo Alvarez. I saw a headline that stated that Canelo Alvarez is going to be mandated, should he be victorious this Saturday. Obviously, that's putting the carriage before the horse. But if he's victorious this Saturday, does the winner of this fight inherit David Benavidez as a mandatory challenger?
Benavidez is the mandatory for the WBC, and the date for mandatory is March. So the winner of the fight, if it's Charlo, he will decide if he remains in super middle, goes back to super welter. But I just concentrate on this Saturday. Benavidez is a mandatory contender, but it will be according to the times.
Now, most recently, you ordered a first bid for Frank Martin and Shakur Stevenson, and that fell through. Were you a part of the negotiation, or you heard they agreed to terms and then?
We don't negotiate. We order the fight. The promoters made an agreement. We canceled the first bid, and then the fight fell off.
What would have been a split in that situation in the first bid?
I don't recall, but I don't recall. But usually, of course, the champion has an advantage.
Right.
I don't know, 70-30. I think that's the rule. I know that's the rule, but I don't know if there was a modification.
Yeah, because I was just wondering because neither one of them are the champions, so they fighting for the vacant belt. So what would the split
No,
be?
but Shakur was the mandatory. He won the rights.
Okay.
And then Lomachenko said no. Pitbull Cruz said no. Then Frank Martin said no.
Okay.
So he has an edge.
Right. So now we see a situation where Terrence Crawford, he beat Errol Spence. He's the undisputed champion at welterweight. He says that he wants to fight the winner of this fight. How would that work in with David Benavidez being the mandatory and Terrence Crawford looking to move up? Could he make himself the mandatory, or what would be the steps to take for Terrence Crawford?
I don't know. That's a speculation. Crawford is welterweight. We're talking about 3 weight categories. It's a speculation, but if they bring it as a solid proposal, then we will look into it. We're going to start.
I appreciate you, Mauricio.
Thank you.